want to talk about giant novelty checks?
Okay.
Or I wrote this joke, but it doesn't work at all in the audio form. You know, Americans spell checks differently. Or I could say we spell checks differently to the Americans.
Okay. Well, they do CK, we do QUES.
Yeah.
Okay.
But spelling it QUES is a really weird way of spelling it. It's like a check.
That's French.
Is it?
Yeah, French way.
Huh.
Un chic.
Oh, sheikh.
Un chic.
Sheikh. There you go. Open up that link right there. This is a great story. So these novelty checks, right? You know what I'm talking about, where it's like you win the Mega Powerball Turbo or whatever, and you get like a big ass check with $160 million printed on it. This guy, he won like $1 on a scratch card. And so he went to the lottery headquarters and he was like, I'd like a giant novelty check. And they were like, okay. And I was like, I feel like this is such a good company move. Like, because most would be, oh, go away, we don't do that. This is silly. But look at the amount of press they get, because this one guy comes in and they're like, sure, why not, mate? We'll do that for you. Mm-hmm. I thought this was really nice. Is there...
Well, it's a classic make your company look a bit silly. It's what Starbucks does. Starbucks deliberately will spell your name wrong. They'll deliberately, if like you say I'm Tim, they'll put Jim, so that if you'll get your thing and you'll go, haha, look, they got my name wrong again. Take a photo, share it on Instagram, free
Oh my god,
advertising.
I've done that so many times.
There you go.
Wow, that's true.
What do you get? Byman.
Dude, well, I get like Simon, SYMON, SYMAN.
Simon.
Yeah, dude, it's all over the show.
PSHOR.
I was thinking, and as we've discussed before, we live in Prague in the Czech Republic, and the Czech version of my name is Shimon. So sometimes I'll say that, and then they'll be confused because I have a terrible Czech accent, and they'll be like, what? And I'll be like, oh, Simon. And they'll be like, I'm still confused.
Seaman.
Yeah.
Right
It'll happen. It'll happen. And then I'll take a picture of it and put it on Instagram. So I actually did a video a while back about giant checks. You know what's fun? You can absolutely cash them. Mm-hmm. You can go to a bank and be like, dude, I got this giant check for $1. And they'll be like, we can cash that. Because a check is just information. Mm-hmm. There's nothing special. Like I could write you a check right now. Maybe it wouldn't work. It's like 2020. But back when checks were actually a thing, I could write you a check like, pay Sam Myers to the order of £1, put my account number and details, and sign it and give it to you, and you can go and cash that.
Really?
Yeah, you can write it on a napkin. From the video that I linked there, which we don't need to load up, is this basically, as long as this is from my video. Yeah. I even remember this. Basically, as long as whatever the check is printed on, giant or otherwise, contains everything necessary for it to be legally considered a check, the amount to be paid, the payer, the payee names, the account number, the name of the bank, and where the payer has the account and what state the bank is in, the payer's signature, and the date the check was written, it is still a valid check. So that's America specific. But yeah, essentially that would work, which is kind of cool.
It's very cool.
Like, I feel would be good information to know.
This is very topical because I just watched Catch Me If You Can.
Oh, great film.
It is a cracking film.
Where he strips the logo of the company off the planes.
Plane tails.
Love that.
And have you watched Frank Abagnale Jr. did a speech, I think, for Harvard?
Commencement address.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
speech.
I feel like I've seen that.
Really great. Yeah. It's really interesting to sort of hear his side of it. He's like, oh, I just did it because I had to. And it was like, did you really?
Did you have to, Frank?
Did you?
I can see that
But he was like 16 and he managed to fraud all the, like, it was incredible. I mean, I could barely write my name when I was 16. Well, I could, but I was not a clever kid on that level. We
talked about in a previous episode about like jobs, like being a spy or being a bounty hunter, being a con man. Like, it's not a job, but like that, it's one of those things that movies make look exciting, but then I'm sure it's, pretty scary.
Well, it takes balls. I mean, if you ever have done anything that's like mildly against the rules and you're like a normal person, you're like, oh, this is on the edge, It's like, I
don't think I could commit crimes because I'd be afraid I'd just be too afraid of it's not like I've got a moral problem with crimes, even though I do, but it's like, I'd just be too afraid of getting caught.
Get caught.
Like,
yeah. Being called out.
Yeah. And then you got to go to prison.
Yeah. It's like minor shoplifting. I remember when I was at school, there was like all the guys used to go into the shop and like one would make a noise over in the corner and the other one would steal chewing gum or something.
Yeah.
And I was just like, that is shocking. Terrible. I don't know.
Morally bankrupt children.
I think I had a very strong moral compass when I was a kid, but where did it go?
What went wrong? Now I shoplift all the time.
I met one guy traveling. He said he shoplifted for 1.5 years, never paid anything.
What?
And he stole an iron from Home Depot. He walked in and just went like, bang, iron under the shirt, walked out.
He just never paid for anything.
Never paid for anything.
That's incredible.
Nothing.
I don't want to say that's incredible, but wow, that's
he skipped
ballsy.
tables in restaurants. Like he'd eat there and he'd just leave.
What?
And like he said, literally, I've paid nothing for the last 1.5 years.
Wow.
And I was like, mate, you're going away for a long time when they get you.
But no, I don't think so, because you get caught once, and I mean, good luck proving. It's just you get caught for that one thing.
I suppose.
No one could go back and prove all the other shit you've done. No one will, because it's such minor things. It's just like a string of minor crimes.
Yeah, true.
I think you're just going to get caught one time, get a fine, or maybe community service or whatever you get for minor crimes, and that's it.
I remember once working in a bar. We poured out 13 real expensive Patron tequilas, and for these guys who thought they were like the bulls, realized how expensive it was and went, no, we're not paying that. They all got up and left. And basically, once it's poured, you have to pour it out. You can't pour it back into the bottle.
Yeah.
And they didn't drink it, and it was like a James Bond moment. We all ran after the car, got the license plate. We called up the police and we're like, they've just run away. They haven't paid. And they went, well, did they drink it? We're like, no. Well, sorry, we can't do anything.
To be honest, even if they drank it, I don't know. It's never going to go anywhere.
Well, it was like £250.
Yeah, but what are they going to do? Like track down the
car
license
with the license number?
I just don't think it's a serious enough crime for them to bother.
Oh, maybe not.
I don't know. My whole thing with this stuff is like everyone is, the stuff you can get away with is insane. Everyone behaves themselves really well considering how often people get caught for shit, which is nice. I like it. Obey the law. I just want to say one more thing with checks. I know we're probably hitting the hour mark and we can wrap it up. I had a business and economics teacher at school, and this was one of my favorite stories around checks. He sent his daughter money for like university tuition and like room and board or whatever. And it turned out to be like the wrong amount. She needed like £400 more or something, or it was a big difference in the amount of money. And so he was like, okay, I'll send you up another check. And she's like, oh no, don't worry, I just changed it. And he's like, what? And she's like, yeah, I just crossed out the amount of money, I put in a new amount, and I just put your initials next to it, and I cashed it. And he's like, and it worked? And she's like, yeah, totally worked.
Wow.
Yeah, because you can initial a change on a check. And there you go. So, I mean, that's kind of bizarre, because if a check can be everything, I could just write myself a check, like learn your account number and sort code, sign it. Yeah, like Sam. Done.
Sam.
Check it. That's all, that's stuff.